All right, big win on Saturday. The Ags pitch a shutout against the Lobos. Really excited about that, but we got a big game coming up against Arkansas. So what I want to do with you tonight is I want to slow down this Lobos game, take a look at what the offense and defense were doing, play by play, slow it down so we can really see what's going on because it's difficult when it's real time. So when we do that, we'll talk through it, we'll take a look and see what's going on because what we're going to do is we're going to speak the truth. Jimbo says his job is to tell the truth. I appreciate you in the comments, Hitch. My goal is to do better this one, just like Jimbo expects of his players, and so that we're always growing. So let's take a look at those plays and see what we got to do to get better so that we can beat Arkansas. All right, I am going to grade this game by position and offense, defense, special teams. So I want you to see this play starting off. Nias was much better at making decisions and going. One move, and then he's up the field. This is a huge return. It enables a lot of our offense to do what we were able to do. You'll see on the upcoming plays how quickly we were able to score. Big game from him, very proud. Okay, one of the first things to take a look at is right in the middle with the Lobos defense. Look at them switch, right? The two nose tackles switch. They did this all game long. Great pickup there by the offensive line. Strike to lane from Calzada. All right, so right here, their right guard and their right defensive end are going to stunt. Their left guard is going to crash towards Bryce Foster. Okay. When he does that, you're going to see what side of Foster he ends up on, right? So Foster's trying to move him inside, but he keeps battling across face, which enables him to make that tackle there. Trainer goes one-on-one and stays on him pretty evenly there. So we'll see how this develops as the plays go on. All right, now here you're going to notice that as we motion Spiller to the right side, their linebacker, not the one moving up to the line, but the one moving right behind him, is going to go with Spiller. But he's going to quickly realize that he's got that responsibility on this side of the field and that we're going back to a chain, which leaves him open since the linebacker that came up to the line had probably the responsibility of the quarterback. And here we are on play 3. Great run from McChain. It probably didn't matter if we were back on our own 30 or not. He was going to score there with that sort of openness. But the ability from Anias to get us up there was what made this an easy score. All right, now we can't play perfect all the time. So what you're going to see here is Andre White gets taken on by two blockers right there in the middle. Leal almost has him. I mean, he's really close. Maybe he should have crashed a little bit more, and then he would have been able to get that. But hey, we can't be perfect on each one. All right, so what you're going to see here is a pretty sizable hole open up in the middle between McKinley Jackson and Peavy. See, there it is right there with Peavy going a little bit left. Quarterback probably could have ran out of that, and we'll see that happen later on, and then it kind of get closed. But Hansford did a great job being on the receivers, so did Antonio Johnson. He was playing more of a zone, and then let the receiver come to him and knew exactly where he was going to be. Now, Clemens makes a great play on this one, but I want to highlight Edrin Cooper, 45, and I think that's Damani Richardson or Antonio Johnson at the top. They really had the assignment to take on number 41 in the quarterback and make sure they didn't get outside there. So they knew what their assignment was, and they stayed on it. Gave Clemens the opportunity to make the play, and that was huge. They did their job. Pretty good play by both teams overall here, but you'll see Jalen Jones at the bottom, and they got a pretty decent pocket, and this is just maybe a bit of an errant throw, but you can see we're right on top of them, so we know our job and we know where to be. All right, so again, watch the stunt right in the middle between the two guards. They're going to switch. One's going to go towards Aggie on the left guard side, and the other one's going to go towards Foster, right? So they're trying to get these two guys to get confused. Aggie grabs him, and once he becomes man-on-man with that guy, just manhandles him. Great pocket. Calzada, takes a step forward and delivers a huge strike to Demas, right? This is one of the most hyped plays of the game because Demas got his first score. Very proud of that guy for doing that. We're going to take a look at some other things that he needed to do. But right now, huge praise to him. So that's the truth with that part. Same with the offensive line doing a great job to enable this score to take place. A great job by Tyree Johnson right here. They think they've got him blocked, but they don't. Leon O'Neal on the top there coming down. You'll see he's already ready to engage the Lobos on their side of the line of scrimmage. And that recognition makes a whole lot with when we're able to actually get to the play in regards to where we're going to make the play and how much yardage that's going to yield. All right, so probably a bit of an eye violation. You see Miles Jones moving there with the motion. He's going, following his guy and trailing. He doesn't see 19 coming back across very well, but he's supposed to react to that. A little bit late reacting, which is why they get a few more yards than maybe we had been allowing on some other plays where we reacted much better. All right, so this is a bit of a mismatch call in my opinion, but watch Tyree Johnson at the top, defensive end. Their left tackle is going to get on his outside shoulder and be able to hold him in. Maybe he crashes a little bit too hard, but the guy pulling, you see, actually it was ended up being their center. He gets him and is able to hold him inside. Edrin Cooper recognizes it, right, but he can't take on two guys all at once. So, but they had a mismatch there with that motion that they brought over. So you'll see almost the exact same play. The center's going to pull. He's going to go over there trying to block Tyree again. You'll watch Tyree stays much more on the outside this time. It almost looked like it was going to be a very similar play. I mean, it's a pass versus a run. But he didn't get on his outside shoulder that time. And so enabled him to disrupt the play. So you'll be able to see on this play, we're not quite set and not ready to go, but they are. They're snapping the ball. Leal gets out immediately, recognizes what's going on. But then you got Tyree making his presence known on the other side over there for sure, and just squeezes him a little bit too much for him to get through with Andre White. This is definitely one that Spiller wants to get back. They're going to stunt right in the middle, but it doesn't matter, right? Because we're going to pull the two linemen over to this side. A chain's going to go that way, right? You can see the wall that's building right there, and Spiller just doesn't cut it back up. I don't think Anais was really expecting it to go that way, so I don't really want to say like he came off his block too soon. He did, but Spiller should have cut that. Watch them come up. Watch what they're going to do with the stunt here. This is a really good strike by Calzada, but you'll see how they start providing pressure to our offensive line. The linebacker creeps up, and he's going to just blast that line. They're going to stunt underneath him, and then they're going to attack that edge right there in the middle. He gets a little bit of pressure there, not too much so that we can't get the pass off, but you'll see that develop as time goes on. All right, so linebackers creeping up, and only 3 down this time, and you're still going to see a stunt. They do it every play. Right, so he comes up, just kind of starts on the inside, then moves outside. Guys recognize it. You got a lot of one-on-ones going on, and while they're one-on-one, they are winning that battle. Sub-Zero wants to get another shot at that one. He's not happy about dropping that one, let that one get through his hands. All right, it's a good design here. Watch on the right-hand side of our offensive line against Trainer. They're going to bring down these 2 linebackers. One's going to go inside towards where Kenyon Green's playing, right? But then Noble, their defensive end, he cuts inside, but that linebacker's going outside. Really puts Trainer in a spot trying to think about how he's going to handle both those guys. Forces the bad throw from Calzada, or at least the inaccurate one, so that he can't get it in a place where we can get some hands on that. Good job by them. Okay, looks like we got a rare miss by Jameer Johnson right here. I'm not sure that he knows that Spiller's behind him, ready to support with anybody that goes wide on him. Because you're going to see one guy, their defensive end, or the linebacker, they're going to go wide, and the other's going to go inside. So it's too much for him to handle because they're not like they're side by side, and his ability to get both of them is just not going to be there. Watch. So here they go. One's kind of heading inside, right, and the other guy's going out. So what's he to do? Well, probably should have taken the inside guy anyways, but Spiller had that the guy going outside, and if he'd known that, he probably would have just hung on his guy man up and then been able to keep that from happening. Good catch by Wademeyer, though, and great delivery in the face of pressure by Calzada. Hats off to him there. All right, so we got Nick punting here, and he did a good job pretty much all day, and that's a beauty. We're going to get this one down inside the 10. I think that was landed, though, inside the 20 from where we were. So great job there on special teams again by our guys. All right, it's the first time we're going to point this one out this week, so that's an improvement in my mind. But the linebacker is going to get out of his gap. He's going to get caught outside, and Peavy's going to get pushed outside of his lane a bit, maybe overcompensated there, and that's going to allow that big hole to open up. That's why we gave up so much right there. But you'll see this get cleaned up here shortly. All right, we got good pressure on the top side of the line here, really all around, but this probably enables them to not be able to throw quite as nice as they would. But honestly, the winner here is the coverage. Great coverage by Leon there. All right, I want you to watch real closely on Tyree's head. He's going to be looking right at that quarterback. Andre White shifts over because of the motion. Then he sees the other guy coming. Whose assignment is who? Tyree's is pretty obvious. It's the quarterback. Then he sees the handoff. So who's supposed to be in the gap? Well, that should have been Andre Johnson, because Tyree had the quarterback, and Andre Johnson needed to stay on the running back. So again, we got same sort of issue we had just a second ago, but again, you will see that cleaned up here shortly. All right, here the guard pulls in front of Leal, and you're going to see him exploit that. That center tries to get over, and because they look like they're going to go left side, Leal flinches. But watch Clemens right there at the top. He's just going at that edge. He's blocked, but he keeps going at that edge, and that enables him to get around it because he's got more speed than that guy. And ultimately getting the pressure there and forcing an inaccurate throw. All right, you're going to see Leal and McKinley Jackson just decimate that offensive line. Excellent job by them. We are going to need a whole bunch of that next week against Arkansas. All right, just key in on Cooper, number 45, right there in the middle at linebacker. Hole right there in the center. They come up. Here comes the running back trying to make a block. All he does is take on the block, enables the other guy to make the tackle. This is exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for the guys just to go, take on a block, do their part. It enables other people to make the play so that they don't necessarily have to. By doing what he did, Cooper made the play, but somebody else got the tackle. And that's what this unit is starting to look like more and more. All right, as the two guys come up, you're going to see them stunt on the bottom side. One guy's going to go out wide on the right side of Trainer. And then you've got Foster battling in the middle there. And so you create that hole by letting him go outside and get on the outside of their defensive lineman like Foster does to keep him there to make that hole for a chain to get through. A little bit of an awkward move right here. He probably wish he would have cut outside more so. It looked like he had a wall there created by Moose and Demas there, and could have got maybe 10 more yards. Good job blocking by those receivers. Good job blocking by Foster. And good job by Trainer there. All right, here's another look at it. Watch Trainer let him go outside. Foster works, trying to keep on the outside of him to make that avenue. Kenyon Green gets that outside block to push him inside. And then you'll see Moose working right here. Oh, we just needed a chain to make that decision to get outside there. And then he's got Demas over there making a great block as well. Good job by both of them again. Okay, they're going to give us a lot of pressure up the middle right here. And then you're going to see this guy just slice through our offensive line like a hot knife through butter, right? And we're sitting here left wondering, how in the heck did that happen? I think what's going on here is we have a timing issue. And when we get to the next play, you'll kind of see it from a different angle, and I think it explains why. You want to get a block on the guy, but you're not trying to hold it the entire time. See, watch Aggie get that. You know, he doesn't really get him. I mean, he puts an arm on him, right? But he's wanting to move over here so he can continue blocking on this left side over here. And just don't think he held it long enough so that the running back could get outside and away from the defender. I mean, the defender's not as fast as Spiller, but if Spiller can get going, there's no way he's going to catch him. Here he just didn't have that opportunity. All right, you're going to see him stunt on the right side of the defensive line. One's going to go inside and attack between Foster and Aggie, and the other one's going to go outside. And because he goes outside, you see Foster, notice what's going on. He's just a little bit too late to react, and that gets the pressure, which then ultimately results in a sack. Okay, very similar thing happens here, but on the opposite side of the line. They attack right across the face of Kenyon Green. Goes inside, attacks that edge, and just keeps with that edge, kind of like Clemens did it on our defense, but forces the pressure, gets the ball out a little too early, a little inaccurate to Weidemeyer. All right, watch Hansford and Clemens on this play. Hansford's going to go inside, and then he's going to realize that he needs to get back outside and get in that gap. Clemens watches the quarterback, Stays home, sees the handoff, him and Hansford strike, textbook play. That's the way we need it to be next week. All right, so if you can on this next play, try and pick up on Antonio Johnson. He's on the top side of the screen there. He's actually on the guy that motions across. And he waits, and then he kind of goes. But their receiver comes and is trying to cut him off so he cannot make that pursuit. So it leaves this guy open at the bottom end of the field because Hansford goes down and takes 14. I think the quarterback made a mistake and probably should have gone to the guy that was in motion, but thankfully Clemens was able to provide that pressure and just disrupt that play. So we got a good play on both sides of the ball here. Miles Jones has good pursuit at the top of the screen there. He just slips, and you'll see him get up here in a second. Good execution by them. You just can't get them all. All right, I want to emphasize Antonio Johnson at the bottom side of the screen here. He's walking up on the line because this play is made possible by him. So he engages the receiver right there. Watch him. Does he give any ground? Doesn't give a lick of ground. They come over to this side. What's he do? He finally decides. So he crosses face. He gets upfield. And again, we're engaging them on their side of the line of scrimmage. If he waits on that till he gets to the line of scrimmage instead of 2 yards up, then you've got another 3 yards tacked on, and they're looking at the 25 instead of the 22. So good play by him. All right, really great job by Tyree Johnson at the bottom of the screen here. He attacks the edge, and he continues to attack it. So much so that he gets around. Guy almost has to hold him to keep him from getting that sack. Great job right there. All right, so let's give a grade. And this is not it. This is last week's grade. QB was a C, running back A+, wide receiver C+, special teams B+. Want you to see where I've got them this week, and then hopefully hear what y'all have to say. Offensive line B- last week, defensive line A-. Be interesting to see where y'all have them as well, because you'll see in a second a lot of ways I've got them as having grown. Linebackers B, and then same thing for the DBs. So let's take a look at this week's. All right, in my opinion, big improvement out of the QB spot. Calzada going from a C to a B+. I thought he managed the game really well. I can't put him in the A category, at least because of the turnover. Still overall very good. Running backs, a little bit of a downgrade this week. Didn't have quite the game maybe that they had, and having a central role in the win last week. Wide receivers still got some things to clean up, although a small improvement to B-. Special teams A. Offensive line for me was better, so I gave them a B, but defensive line was outstanding, A+. Linebackers, you saw some improvement there with being in the gaps, so B+ for me. And then DBs were very good, so I thought A- was fitting. Overall, I think a B is fitting for the offense. Improved, promising. I'm not going to say potential because that's just going to tick Jimbo off, because potential is simply what you haven't done yet. But I'm glad to see some improvement. Maybe it was small, but it was there. Defense was fantastic. Defensive line winning the show. A+, and they enabled that goose egg to be on that scoreboard, so that's huge. Wrecking crew fitting performance right there. All right, so that's the truth. You just saw the truth. We broke it down. We slowed it down. You saw what was happening. You see what we're up against when it comes to playing ourselves. The Lobos did a lot of things that we had to deal with. Arkansas is going to do a lot of things. So we're going to break down that Arkansas film in the next day or so and let you see a slowed down version of what they do so you can compare to what the Lobos did. This way you have a pretty good idea about what we're going to be up against on Saturday. You know we're going to be in for a grudge match. They want to beat us. They don't want those 10 games in a row to be there. Quite frankly, they hate us, and they want to get that win. So take a look at that one coming up tomorrow probably, and you'll have I think a good idea about what we're going to be facing on the offensive defensive side. So hope you liked it. Hopefully you saw growth as well through these videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Gig 'em.